I think how he changed, my favorite part of how Riglet has changed since day one, the pilot, would have to be the leadership from the pilot to just even our last scenes on the field and everything from the state final was just like, I think a 180, and even just to be the captain and all that with 7 at the end of it was big. Just maturity, kind of understanding that his decisions and choices have repercussions. And I don't think he did, especially in the first season, a lot, you know. Yeah, I think that's the major points.
You know, at the beginning of the whole show, Matt was very shy, not at all sure of himself kid with a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. And, you know, over the course of the 3 years, they did a good job of writing a gradual maturation for him, you know, and it wasn't just all of a sudden he, you know, was an adult or anything like that. And it was very natural, and I think he's a totally different kid now than he was 3 years ago, just in the sense of how he carries himself and how he deals with, you know, how his grandmother and stuff like that. And you know, it's just fun. It just seemed very realistic, which is always fun to do when you're acting.
Well, I hate to kind of repeat what they say, but I feel like that's been almost every character. That's been kind of a common theme, is the maturity. We introduced these characters in the pilot, and you know, I was Matt's best friend, and we pretty much are the only ones that we talked to. We kind of stayed in our little bubble. But over the span of these 3 seasons, I think yeah, all these characters really kind of matured and came into their own, you know, as kids do in high school, you know. And obviously with Landry, there was a big event that happened in the first episode of the 2nd season that obviously changed him, you know, dramatically.
I don't think it's like a direct correlation to like my character evolving. I think it's just, I mean, our process and everything else we go through has created so many benefits to the way I look at acting and prepare and everything else. And from improv to just, like I said, preparing for the gig, you know. As a person, yeah, I don't know if it's like I'm, you know, maturing as Riggins does, but I think just as an actor, yeah, I mean, you do the show for 3 years, and you just learn so much from these other guys and through everyone else on the show, and you know, everything, all the things that come up that you have to deal with that you haven't before as an actor, you know. So it's a great process, and it's kind of like the best class you can get.
Well, yeah, it's because, you know, the best way to learn something is by doing it. And we're fortunate enough to have a job that lasts for a long time, and you know, we get to see arcs develop a lot, and you know, just constantly being working. I think, especially as young actors, and this was most of our first thing really, it gave us a chance to figure out how to do it. And I think that most of us, when we've worked on other things in between seasons, like, there's been a level of confidence when we step on a set or whatever, and it's like, okay, like, I don't know what to do exactly, but I have an idea of how to go about this. Whereas, you know, I remember the pilot, I was like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Like, where do you want me? Like, what's a trailer? Like,
Yeah. Thanks,
you know,
Pete.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
I think too is the risks that we're allowed to take on this show.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take risks like we take on any other gig that I've done anyways, and the freedom that we have. And I think that allows you to grow even at a better, quicker rate, you know.